Lorelei is working with Butterflies in Spirit, advocating for her own family and all missing and murdered women and missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. Please put your hands together for Lorelei.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to acknowledge and thank the Tsleil-Waututh Squamish Nation and Musqueam Nation for having me on their territory. My name is Lorelei Williams, and I'm from Skatine Nation. My cousin Dorina was taken by serial killer Terry Arnold and raped by him in the mountains. She survived. My auntie was pushed out of a hotel window in the downtown east side. She survived. My auntie Belinda has been missing since 1977. My cousin Tanya Holick went missing in 1996. She was murdered by serial killer Robert Pickton. In Canada, countless others across Canada have lost daughters, sisters, mothers, aunts, cousins. In fact, 1,200 women and girls have been murdered or have gone missing. We have a highway called the Highway of Tears. Indigenous women and girls remain vulnerable to abuse in Canada. Internationally, people are calling for a national inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women. The United Nations Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, also known as CEDAW, says the government of Canada is failing to properly address the disproportionately high number of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. In its report released on March 6th, CEDAW concluded that there has been a grave violation of Indigenous women's rights in Canada. United Nations Special Rapporteur James Anaya says there's a crisis in Canada when it comes to how Aboriginal people in this country are treated. And there is a disturbing phenomenon on missing and murdered Indigenous women, and calls on Ottawa to launch a national inquiry into the issue of why Aboriginal women and girls remain vulnerable to abuse. Yet our federal government is not interested in having a national inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women. In fact, Stephen Harper says it's not high on his radar. They can spend millions of dollars to celebrate Canada's birthday on fireworks and stuff, but they can't spend any money on a national inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women. We need to get to the root causes of why this is happening here in Canada. We need to raise awareness of this issue so this doesn't happen to more families. We need healing programs for families of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. You see the high number of missing and murdered Indigenous women. Think about how many children are left behind because of this atrocity. We also have to take preventative measures across Canada to make sure this doesn't happen anymore. No more lost sisters. We need a national inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women now.
Lorelei, thank you so much for your powerful words. Just one more round of applause for Lorelei. And for all women who have the courage to speak out against the injustices within the system in this state.